We've got some sad breaking news. Welcome to the We Guard Cleveland podcast with me, your host, Casey Howard. And today we've got some updates that I don't think anyone's too pleased about for the Guardians. The Cleveland Guardians have placed Josh Naylor on the 10-day injured list with an oblique strain, as well as placing Naylor and Freeman on the 10-day injured list with a right shoulder strain. So, first of all, these really hurt us because right now we're in the process of trying to develop see if Naylor Freeman is the long-term answer at shortstop. He was one of the guys who we were looking at, and knowing that we can't look at him, it really hurts our decision making and makes the Guardians kind of look away from him, even though he is a really good player, and it makes them turn their eyes more towards Brayan Rocchio and Gabriel Arias. They also brought up Jose Tina, who is a top prospect, and he's also a shortstop, so he'll be competing with Brayan Rocchio and Gabriel Arias for that long-term guy at shortstop. And then Josh Naylor, he's probably been our second best player on our team besides Jose this year. He's been doing awesome hitting, and he's just a good leader in the clubhouse too. I hear everyone loves him, and for him to be injured, it really hurts the Guardians lineup. He was a very good hitter in the 4 spot. The Guardians are going to need Oscar Gonzalez to take a big step to be that new cleanup hitter for the Guardians for the rest of this season, or for at least the next couple weeks, hopefully. And defensively, David Fry will most likely take over for him at first base. And then the Guardians have also traded for Cole Calhoun. The Guardians have also traded Cole Calhoun. The Guardians have traded for Cole Calhoun. The Dodgers traded Cole Calhoun to the Guardians for cash. Cole Calhoun, they said the Guardians put him on the MLB roster. Even though the trade deadline has passed, you can trade for players who were in the minor leagues, such as Calhoun. Calhoun is 35 years old. He's been in the Dodgers AAA program for most of this year so far. He was a former Los Angeles Angel. That was when he was really good. He plays right field mostly, but I expect him, if the Guardians use him, mainly as a DH. So those are the moves that happened today. I never really got to you guys the content on the Josh Bell trade. But I really like it. I think the prospect they got for him will do good, but I really didn't care what we got for him. But it helps us because we saved $16.5 million on his contract, which is a big deal for the Guardians. So now, after I go over the moves that have happened, now I'm going to look at what the roster looks like now. So I'm kind of pretty much going to go over the depth chart right now. So I'm not doing pitching. That'll come for another video. So we're going to go over the depth chart and lineup. So at the catcher position, because we moved David Fry to first base for the meantime, I think they're going to go with Bo Naylor and Cam Gallagher as their catchers. Bo Naylor has been our starting catcher for a couple months now. So that's no surprise. However, Cam Gallagher, he will be the backup catcher. He'll probably start once or twice a week for the Guardians. So next, we're moving on to first base, and David Fry, like I said, will be our first baseman. David Fry is a really good hitter. Defensively at first base, we haven't really seen him much. Defensively, we've really only seen him in the outfield and at catcher a lot. But first base, we're going to see. I expect he might platoon with Gabriel Arias at first base. He's the only other one player on the roster with experience at first base besides David Fry. And then, of course, our Golden Glover second baseman, Andres Jimenez, will start there. At shortstop, we have three guys who are sort of competing for the starting job. But right now, I would say Brayan Rocchio has it. But him, Gabriel Arias, and Jose Tina are probably going to be alternating for the starting job. Rocchio is a very good hitter offensively. His defense is decent also. Same thing with him and Tyler Freeman. They both are really good hitters, and they're good defensive players, but neither of them have a really strong arm like Gabriel Arias and Jose Tina do. But neither of them are as good of hitters as Rocchio or Freeman. So it depends on what you want there for long term at shortstop. Then at third base, of course, we have Jose Ramirez. However, they may DH him a little bit, like some. That's what Chris Antonetti hinted in his interview on Wednesday. So I also put Gabriel Arias and Brayan Rocchio as third baseman options on the depth chart. Now in left field, we have Stephen Kwan. Kwan's great, Gold Glover, great hitter. He's really good. In center field, Will Brennan and Miles Straw, I would say, are going to platoon time. If there's a right-handed pitcher, Brennan will probably start in center field. If there's a lefty, I think they'll start Straw, because Straw is an amazing defensive player, Golden Glover. However, he has struggled a lot with the bat, only hitting like 235 or even lower than that sometimes. With no homers in the past 2 seasons. But he has kept up a really good glove, which is why he is still in the mix. In right field, I think they have Will Brennan, Oscar Gonzalez, and Cole Calhoun. However, I think they're going to move Will Brennan to center field. So I think Cole Calhoun and Oscar Gonzalez are going to platoon while the other DHs. So those are going to be the DH right field options, I think, sort of. So there's that. I just wanted to go over the depth chart real quick with these new roster moves. The only other thing I wanted to talk about is the Guardians. Without Josh Naylor, I can't really see the Guardians making the playoffs, sadly. So now that Naylor is hurt, I can see if they knew Naylor was hurt when they made that Savali trade, that might have been a better trade than we thought originally. Because now I think their chances at making the playoffs are a lot lower than they were. But I'll keep posting content. Please like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. The more subscribers I get, that helps. But yeah, for now, Casey is out.